So we are going to learn 7th standard science lesson number 4th. What is the name of the lesson? Name of the lesson is nutrition in living organisms. We are going to see nutrition in the living organisms, in the plants and the animals. Okay? Now nutrition. Some life processes go on continuously in living organisms. There are some life processes which go on continuously in the living organisms. Substances which are digested and assimilated for obtaining energy and for the growth and health of our body are called foodstuffs. What are the foodstuffs? Substances which are digested and assimilated for obtaining energy and for the growth and health of our body are called the foodstuffs. We get several types of nutrients from these foodstuffs. Nutrients can be classified into two types, namely macronutrients and the micronutrients. There are two types of nutrients. They are classified into two types. First is the macronutrients and another is the micronutrients. Nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins and fats are required in large quantity. Nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins and fats are required in large quantity. These are macronutrients. These are macronutrients. And minerals and vitamins are required in very small quantity. And they are called as micronutrients. They are called as the micronutrients. Okay. Now, autotrophic plants. Plants also need food for their growth. Plants also need food for their growth. They can produce their own food. Plants can produce their own food. With the help of sunlight and chlorophyll, plants make their food. With the help of sunlight and chlorophyll, plants make their food. Where they made their food, they make their food in their leaves using water and nutrients from the soil and the carbon dioxide from the air. Okay, using water and nutrients from the soil and carbon dioxide from the air. And this process is called as the photosynthesis. Okay, so you can see a diagram, photosynthesis diagram of a plant. Water, minerals, salt, then chlorophyll in the leaves, then carbon dioxide, now sunlight, and it gives out oxygen. Okay, it takes carbon dioxide and it gives out oxygen. Okay, so in the yellow box, the process of taking in air and using food which takes place in living organs called the nutrition. What is nutrition? The process of taking in and using food which takes place in living organisms is called the nutrition. And what are the need for nutrition? To supply. Need for nutrition is first is to supply the energy required for doing work. To supply the energy required for doing work. Okay. Growth and development of the body. Growth and development of the body. And is to replace the damaged cells and repair the tissues. To replace the damaged cells and to repair the tissues and to fight against the diseases. Okay. Autotrophic nutrition. Some organisms can produce their own food. Some organisms can produce their own food and thus nourish themselves. Then they can produce their own food and thus they can nourish themselves. And this is called the autotrophic nutrition. This is called the autotrophic nutrition. What is the heterotrophic nutrition? Some organisms depend on other organisms. some organisms depend on other organisms, plants or animals, plants or animals for their food, plants or animals for their food, and this is called heterotrophic nutrition, and this nutrition is called as the heterotrophic nutrition. Two type of nutrition, autotrophic and the heterotrophic, which can produce their own food, autotrophic, and which depends on other organism, plants or animal, heterotrophic. So here carbon dioxide plus water, then sunlight gives food, that is glucose plus oxygen, that is 6CO2 plus 6H2O. Chlorophyll gives 6CH2LO6, this is the formula of the glucose, and oxygen O2, that is plus 6O2. Okay. So now come to page number 27. Plants convert light energy into chemical energy. Plants convert light energy into the chemical energy, and they store it in the form of food, Water, minerals and salts are absorbed by roots. Water, minerals and salts are absorbed by roots from the soil. The stem transports them up to the leaves. The leaves have microscopic openings. What do leaves have? The leaves have microscopic openings, and this microscopic opening is called as the stomata. This microscopic opening is called as the stomata. Okay, and called stomata, through which they take in the CO2 from the air. Through the stomata, they take CO2 from the air. The chloroplast present in the leaves contain chlorophyll. See a chloroplast in a leaf. So this chloroplast contains the chlorophyll. Okay, this chloroplast absorbs what? It absorbs what? This is the green color. It will be green color. Okay, it absorbs the sunlight. This chloroplast absorbs the sunlight. It helps to convert carbon dioxide and water. It helps to convert carbon dioxide and water into food. Okay, and oxygen is given out in this process, and in this process oxygen is given out. Okay, beside leaves, photosynthesis takes place in some other plants like green stems too. In the green stems also photosynthesis take place, as they contain chlorophyll. Okay, which parts contain chlorophyll? Okay, it takes photosynthesis take place. Okay, now transport system in plants. Okay, they have given you the activity, so come down. The transport system of plants consists of the xylem and the phloem. The transport system of plants consists of the xylem and the phloem. The xylem transports minerals and waters. The xylem, what does the xylem transport? The xylem transports the mineral and the water from where? From the root. From the root to where? To all the aerial parts of the plant. And the phloem transports the food. Food means glucose from the leaves. It transports the glucose from the leaves to other parts of the plants. From the leaves to the other parts of the plants, where it is either consumed or stored. It is consumed or it is stored. Okay. Through the plants have a transport system. They do not have a separate digestive or excretory system. Through the plants have a transport system. Plants have a transport system, and they don't have separate digestive or the excretory system. So see here the picture, transport system in plants. First here is section of a root, then section of a stem. Blue color indicates box, xylem, and pink color box indicates phloem. Okay, here is section of a stem, then section of a leaf. Okay, so now come to page number 28. Plants produce carbohydrates by the process of photosynthesis. Plants produce carbohydrates by the process of photosynthesis. By the process of photosynthesis, plants produce carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are made from carbon. They are made from carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Carbohydrates are made from carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And now proteins are made from carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. When nitrogen is added, we get proteins. Okay. Now, air contains gaseous nitrogen. Air contains gaseous nitrogen. However, plants cannot utilize gaseous nitrogen. Plants cannot utilize gaseous nitrogen. It needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed. That is converted into compounds. Okay. Fixation of nitrogen occurs by biological and atmospheric methods. Fixation of nitrogen, how does it occurs? It occurs by the biological and atmospheric methods. Okay, biological fixation of nitrogen. Two different types of microorganisms can bring about biological nitrogen fixation. Two different types of microorganisms can bring about biological nitrogen fixation. Root noodles of leguminous plants contains the rhizobium microorganism. These microorganisms absorb atmospheric nitrogen. These microorganisms absorb atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into its nitrate. A compound. Nitrate, a compound. Microorganisms like Azotobacter are present in soil. Microorganisms like Azotobacter are present in the soil. They also convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. Nitrates, a compound. Okay. Here they have given you the picture 4.4, roots of a leguminous plant. Okay. Now come down. Okay. Do you know atmospheric fixation of a nitrogen? Atmospheric fixation of nitrogen. Lightning, thunderbolts occur in the rainy season. Okay, it occurs in the rainy season. This causes atmospheric nitrogen and oxygen to react with each other. Okay, to form nitric oxide. That is, nitrogen and oxygen reacts to form nitric oxide, NO, which is again oxidized to form nitrogen dioxide, that is NO2. The nitrogen dioxide, that is NO2, dissolves in rain water and is converted into nitric acid. It dissolves in the rainwater, nitrogen dioxide, and it is converted into the nitric acid, that is HNO3. Now, insectivorous plants. We have seen how some plants feed upon insects. We have seen how some plants feed upon the insects to obtain the nutrients. These insectivorous plants generally grow in the soil. These insectivorous plants generally grow in soil or water. They generally grow in the soil or water deficient in nitrogen compounds. Okay. The plant body of the Drosera vermani has a flower-like appearance. Here they have given you the picture, Drosera vermani. Okay. So it has the appearance like a flower. It grows close to the ground. Its leaves are attractively pink. Or red in color. Okay, with hairs at the margin. And they have the hairs in the margin. Droplets of a sticky substance found at the tips of the hairs attracts insects. Which part attracts the insects? The sticky substance found at the tips of the hairs. It attracts the insects. Okay. The scientist Jonas Verman identified these plants in Sri Lanka in 1737. Which scientist Jonas Verman identified these plants in Sri Lanka in 1737. Hence the plant is named after him. That is Drosera vermani. Okay. So now saprophytic plants. We learned heterotrophic plants, insectivorous plants, and now saprophytic plants. Plants which obtains the food from dead and decaying bodies of the other organisms are called as the saprophytic plants. Plants which obtains the food from where? From the decaying and the dead bodies of organisms or for the other organisms are called as the saprophytic plants. Various types of fungi like mushrooms and yeast are saprophytes. Various types of fungi like mushrooms and the yeast are what? Saprophytes. Okay. Fungi secrete digestive enzymes on the dead remains to digest or break down the carbon compounds they contains. What the fungi do? The fungi secrete the digestive enzymes on the dead remains to digest or break down the carbon compounds which they contain. The resulting solution is absorbed to obtain nutrients. On page number 29, they have given picture 4.8 of a saprophytic plants. Okay, Google and see some more picture of this heterotrophic plants, insectivorous plants and the saprophytic plants. Okay. So, come to page number 30. Always remember, food gets spoiled due to some fungi. Okay, foods get spoiled. Okay, in 2 days it gets spoiled due to some fungi. Some fungi causes diseases or illness. While some fungi have the medicinal properties. Yeast and some mushrooms are useful. Yeast is used in the what? It is used in the fermentation processes. And for making bread. Yeast is used in making the bread. Mushrooms are a rich source of iron and vitamins. Mushrooms are a rich source of iron and vitamins. Okay, come down. Now here they have given you the chart. Role of nutrients and effects of their deficiency on plants. First is nitrogen nutrient. Then its function is important component of proteins, chlorophyll and the cytoplasm. And its effect of deficiency is retarded stunt growth, yellowing of the leaves. It is its effects. Phosphorus, conversion of light energy into the chemical energy. And its effect, early leaf fall, late flowering and the slow growth of roots. Okay. Now which nutrient? Potassium. Its function, necessary for metabolic activities. And its effects of deficiency, weak stem, wilting of leaves, failure to produce carbohydrates. Magnesium, production of chlorophyll. And its effect, slow, retarded growth, yellowing of the leaves. Now iron, production of chlorophyll. Effects, yellowing of leaves. Okay. Now manganese, production of main plant hormones. And its effect of deficiency, retarded growth, spotted leaves. Okay, on leaves you can see small spots. Okay, so spotted leaves. Zinc, production of hormones and their intermediates. Okay, and its effective deficiency, retarded growth and yellowing of leaves. Okay, now see here in the pink lines, observe the plants around you and diagnose the nutrient deficiency if any. Okay, in the next video we'll learn about the nutrition in animal.